I have a super simple project today, which is sewing a pleated midi skirt. It's so weird because I've had this fabric in my stash for years. I'd used it previously on a trouser project and I didn't quite know what to do with the remaining fabric. And looking back at it now, it's so obvious that you would sew a pleated skirt with a plaid fabric. But it's dawned on me now, which is why I am bringing this project to you. So follow along because by the end of it, you will know how to make a pleated skirt. And by way of an introduction, for those who aren't subscribed to my channel, my name is Tammy. I teach people how to sew online. If that is something you're interested in, whether you're a beginner or just want an interesting project, do make sure to subscribe because that is the type of content that I do. I have folded my fabric in half. I'm using my tape measure to see the width of my fabric to make sure it's enough for my pleated skirt, and also measuring the length just to make sure it will be long enough, and it is. Cutting my fabric, the pattern is basically two very long rectangles, so it's super simple. Make sure to overlock all your raw edges to make for a really nice clean finish, and this is what it looks like close up. I like to press my fabric after I have cut and overlocked it. Some people like to do it before, but this is my process. With plaid fabrics, it's actually quite easy to do pleats. So here I'm following the stripes on the fabric. So I'm looking at the vertical pink lines and using that to form my pleats. So when I join the two pink lines together, it makes 2-inch pleats. Then I take it to my iron to press all the pleats in place. This is probably the longest part in the process, so just take your time here because you want really nice crisp pleats, that are nicely finished, that are really defined. So take your time to make sure you're getting every single pleat where you want it. If you have a steam function on your iron, this is the time to use it. I've also turned my fabric over, so this is now the wrong side of my fabric. So yeah, just to make sure the outside and the inside have been pressed properly. Don't skip this step. It's really crucial to make a really nice crisp pleated skirt. I'm really liking how it's looking so far. I think it's looking really good. I'm just checking that I like the width of the pleats and the direction that they are going in, and it's a yes. Now I am sewing my pleats in place. So I'm sewing it 3 inches down. This again will make it really defined, and it will allow the pleats to just kind of fall in place before you place the waistband in. So here is what it looks like once I've sewn the top 3 inches of my pleats. You can see it looks really crisp. It looks super defined. And I'm just checking that there will be enough for my zip. Yeah, which there will be. Here are my waistband pieces. I have cut them really wide. I think they're 4 inches wide because I was still deciding the width that I wanted my waistband to be. I have interfaced it just to give it a bit more structure and stability, and using my iron to stick the interfacing onto my main fabric. Now I'm sewing them right sides together. So here is where you will sew your waistband to the waistline of your skirt. So place it right sides together, take it to your machine and sew. I am using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, which is what I've used for the entire project, apart from when I'm sewing the zip actually, because this was excess fabric and I actually didn't want to cut it, so I've just left that as a large seam allowance. I'm continuing to finish the waistband after I've done the zip. Here, I basically like to do my waistband in two sections. So I'm sewing the inside of the waistband and understitching it to give it that really clean finish and to make sure that my waistband stays in place. After I've understitched it, I'm now folding my waistband to the inside of my skirt and folding the raw edges of that waistband to cover all the raw edges and to make for a really nice finish. Again, pressing everything. Pressing is so important, guys. Do not skip this step. It can be tedious. To be fair, I actually like pressing. I think it's because my iron is very good quality. It's very easy to use, and it's quite a powerful iron. And you can see the difference when you press. So don't skip this step. You will know if a project is going well if you see me adding my label. That's a sign that I'm liking how my project is going, and that's my stamp of approval. I've decided to put elastic to the back of my waistband as well because I like having that extra room if I need it. If I gain weight or if I eat a lot that day, I'm not, my body's not resisting the exact measurements, and elastic allows it to, expand and compress as needed. One thing that's always good with waistbands is to top stitch them in place. That's what I'm doing here because I don't like it when my waistband moves inside the waistband or inside the casing that it's in. It's really annoying and it feels a bit uncomfortable. So here I am stitching it in place and I'm pulling on my waistband as I sew to make sure the elastic is nice and flat. Now this is one of the last things to do. We are nearly finished. I have already taken the hem to my sewing machine and pressed it to the wrong side of my skirt so the raw edges are covered. Now I think this is a half an inch. No, I think this is less than half an inch seam allowance. I have used maybe 1/4 of an inch here. I've not pinned it. I'm using my hand to hold it in place. It's quite a lot of, fabric to hem. I think it's, 2 or 3 meters. I really like the flow of the skirt. I like the wideness of the pleats. And I personally don't mind the bunching in the back because of the elastic. If that's a look you don't want, then you can choose to sew the waistband to your exact measurements. There you have it. Hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, as always, make sure to put it down in the comments below and I will either respond there or make another video to explain it. And yeah, on to the next one. I'm trying to think what my next project will be. I do love making corsets, but I'm going to do something different. I haven't actually shown you guys trousers and how to do things like fly front zippers. So yeah, that could be my next one. If you have any suggestions, do pop it down as well. And if you enjoyed this type of content, please do make sure you subscribe so you can get up to date with more content that I have. But yeah, until next time, guys. Thank you.